Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hari Bharadwaj. I'm the CEO of Flera Tech. Welcome once again to TGS 2020. It's very exciting day three. And last 2 days have been a very exciting, as all of you must have observed and watched many speakers, speaking away many interesting topics. And today, this afternoon, we have 17 very wonderful and exciting tech-based startups presenting their pitches for their investments. And we have a lot of investors on the platform watching and looking forward to betting their monies on these exciting startups. So each startup is going to get 5 minutes to their pitch, and as the rules already been explained to each one of you, so please maintain your time schedules. I will be watching and timing your presentation. So as soon as I say yes and read out your name and the company name, you would start presenting. Okay, so good luck to each one of you and have a great time. To start with, we have Arihant Aryan from Big Business. Arihant, over to you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Aryan. At the age of 15, I started trading stocks. In the same year, I started my digital marketing agency. I also had the amazing opportunity to travel to different continents and observe different business ecosystems. Yes, I'm the founder and the CEO of Big Business. We are willing to raise 1 crore for 10% equity in our company. Now, Big Business is a software as a service for retail stores and micro businesses. It provides business management service like human resource, finance, CRM, inventory, growth tracker, and environmental forecasting, mainly Mukesh. Now, Mukesh is a virtual assistant which we provide for every business owner. Now, this is completely modular, pre-populated, and has both manual and automatic data flow. It can be used in any local language with provided customized dashboard. Now, in my childhood, I have seen many small businesses fail, and sadly, we have been a victim of that. And when I was in sabbatical this year, I started doing the research and talking to my potential customers. Then I understood the rate of efficiency for small businesses is automatically decreasing, and the best example is our MSME contribution to GDP compared to last 6 years. And also the sad part is that the conversion rate for micro businesses to turning into small and medium has also been decreasing. And you can see that data also. Now what the solution which we are trying to give to make our business ecosystem very efficient is not a one solution. We have different solutions for different phases, which I will be sharing in the further part. But currently we're developing a SaaS for business management. As I said, through our application or SaaS, a business management is made efficient and easy. This will enable them to compete with large competitions and be profitable at the same time. We're using AWS for cloud, and it will we will also use local storage also. Now let me say how it works. Let's say a grocery store owner takes the application and subscribes, and he gives and he enters the data of what kind of business he has. Now feels like inventory will be automatically filled with data, and all the job he has to do is just add the quantity. And now we have automatic data transmission through the invoice. If the data will be transmitted to finance, inventory, CRM, growth tracker through the invoices. We are also aware of there are many type of invoices like manuscript and other type of invoices. That's why we have a special feature where the invoice can be turned into a QR code, and the QR code can be scanned. And once the QR code is scanned, the fields will be automatically filled. And we also have the manual data feeding also. And now, a few months back, before we started developing our application, I had the amazing opportunity to serve 15 businesses as our MVP phase one. We just managed the business behalf of them. Three businesses saw 2% 2 times hike in their revenue, and also other businesses started growing. Then I had the confidence that we can do something, and this was a pleasant moment for me. And now, right now, to mention, just to make myself feel a bit proud, Big Business is a part of IIM Bangalore Launchpad program. And we have competitors like ERP and payroll, they say, but they're completely targeting different audience, and we're completely targeting different audience as well. So our vision is to expand in 2025 to different continents. As I have traveled, I've seen the scenario same for those kind of businesses as well. And we are also looking forward to launch a community platform in the next phases also. And now we have 4 types of subscription packs, one out of which one is customized. Our price starts at 599 and ends at 1799. Our average subscription price is 1200 rupees. For the first year, we're willing to target around 10,000 subscribers, hopefully, and our revenue will be at 144 million for the very first year. And our profit margin is at 65.2%. Every quarter, we are estimated to increase by 15 to 20%. and we are estimated to break even in mid 2021. And the best part is that our GTM, we're currently targeting franchise-based businesses, and we are still in talks with major brands who have like 15,000 stores across India. And once our product is ready, they'll be signing an agreement with us. This is a small update about our GTM. Our ask is 1 crore for 10% equity in our company. This will give us a runway for 12 months, which will help us to acquire 10,000 subscribers and hire staff for operations and product development also. And it will help us to expand our wings through our nation and other globes also.
45 seconds.
Thank you so much for your time. I would love to take any questions if there are, and I would love to answer them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arihant. We are not opening for Q&A right now, so we will get back to you if somebody asked at the back end. Thank you, Arihant. Thanks for your presentation. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Okay, the next one is Karun Thadepalli from Byte Excel. Karun, are you ready?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Let me know if you guys can see the screen. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. So I'm the CEO and co-founder of ByteExcel. The ByteExcel, it's an edtech company. The idea is to empower the graduate engineers and get them ready for jobs, be part of the industry. So the problem is like the employability rate in Indian engineers is painstakingly low, and it has been consistently low for last 8 years. While India is producing like 1.5 million engineers every year, still the employability rate is like 8% for the last 9 years. And when it comes to the technical skills, it's even less, like at 1.7% in the emerging technologies. Many of them are products of tier 2, tier 3 colleges, where there is a faculty scarcity, limited technical skills, and the certifications that are not of potential recognition by the employees. So what we are doing, so ByteExcel has an e-learning platform. On the platform, as you can see on the left side, like in the blue screen, we have multiple features on the platform. It's an experiential online learning platform where they can do the coding practices, everything. Anyone with a browser and a device will be able to run any kind of a programming language. So we are primarily focused on IT industry. And we also have the capability of assessments on this platform. On top of it, we have discussion groups where students, professors, faculty, everyone can engage in discussions with peers as well as with the industry experts to understand like what is the bridge gap between the academic world and the industry. And also the idea of this one was to create like give the students an opportunity to choose their career by choice rather than by chance. And next thing is the learning emerging technologies. That's our core area. We are focusing right now on cyber security, DevOps, cloud, artificial intelligence, and also web stack, full stack web development. We also provide placement assistance through our partners. Value proposition, what we are doing is like we are trying to increase the employability rate, as I mentioned earlier. And on top of it, like we by our training program, we can also increase the enrollment into the colleges, because when the colleges are able to provide the employment that needed, that happens. And also companies like service industry, especially, they spend 6 months of their time and more than $20,000 in order to make this early engineers ready to be put into a project. By getting trained through ByteExcel, the corporates can reduce that cost. How do we drive this innovation? And it's through innovation and entrepreneurship. What we did was like we developed center of excellence in the colleges and also entrepreneurship development cells. We did this in the partnership with corporates. We already partnered with Fortinet, a leading cybersecurity company, and then Sky's the Limit, Youth Business USA, a Silicon Valley platform which helps entrepreneurs through the entrepreneurship development cell. It also provides mentorship and everything for the students from the top Silicon executives. The product relevance. What we do is like we are not a point-in-time training. We go be part of the mainstream curriculum of the colleges that we partner with. We are primarily a B2B business and also B2B2C, where we try to partner with the colleges and then help them with the year one of their engineering so that they get an understanding. Our focus is learning and skilling. Obviously, placement is a KPI, but the focus is to increase the learning and skilling. That's where students can make a decision what career track they need to get into. As I mentioned, we focus on 4 career tracks right now, and we do say Center of Excellence, Entrepreneurship Development Cell. And at the end of the 4th year also, we do some training and also provide placement assistance. Our milestones. So Bytexcel is launched in India in December of 2019. By August of 2020, we had 100K in bookings revenue. These are in US dollars, the amounts, where we partnered with 6 colleges. We had $1 million grant from Fortinet. That's how we built the Center of Excellence. And from there to December, as of today, we already partnered with 13 colleges, and our revenue is at 300K US dollars, which is like 2.2 crores close to in Indian rupees. And we have 7,500 active students on the platform. We trained another 6,000 students to the platform. So basically the growth strategy is like by end of 2021 we'll be training 40,000 students, and by mid June 65,000 students. So this is our management team. As I said, I'm the CEO and co-founder. Pawan is our co-founder and CTO. We have a strong leadership over here with more than 100 years of experience. Growth strategies, we are looking at the product growth and the scaling into, as I said, we are into B2B, so reaching out to all the colleges in India.
Karan, your time is up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karan. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Next one is we have Sasank Poturu, Kondura Education and Training Services. Do we have Sasank ready to go?
All here.
Yeah, go ahead, Sasank. Your time starts now.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sishank. I'm a product of IIIT Hyderabad and IIM Calcutta. I've been spending quite a bit of time on the education side, and the current project is Quandira Online, wherein we are looking at solving the problem of skill gaps and unemployability. How do we go about it? Our solution essentially involves bringing the different stakeholders in the value chain onto the same ecosystem. On one side, we have the student who is looking for training, mentorship, and eventually outcomes. On the other side of the triangle, in fact, I call this as a magic triangle, we have the third-party course providers who provide relevant upskilling content for the students to be able to reach their outcomes. And eventually, the most important vertex in the story is your companies which are looking to hire. And our model involves getting these 3 different stakeholders onto the same platform. Our target segment is essentially the tier 2, tier 3 colleges, the middle of the pyramid students, they who kind of lack exposure and awareness when it comes to choosing and making the best use of the opportunities that they have. So, a quick snapshot about how we go about this. For the student side of things, we directly work with the colleges and universities. And currently, we have tie-ups with close to around 55 plus universities. And overall, we are looking about 2 lakh plus registered learners on the platform, of which around 25,000 of them are on a paid plan. What is it that the students do on the platform? We onboard them onto our employability prep course, which focuses on problem solving, language skills, programming, as well as mentorship. Now, typically we offer the employability prep in multiple variants, starting from early starter programs to pre-final year programs, as well as the final year programs. So typically a student comes onto our platform, goes through these modules, which are in sync with the academic plans of the college. And we also, through our assessments, behavioral assessments, as well as mentor talks, etc., we help the students identify the kind of career pathways that they would like to get into. Typically, our employability prep programs range anywhere between 700 to 4,000, depending upon the kind of volume discounts, etc., that we offer to the partner colleges. Having helped the students identify the kind of career pathways that they would like to get into, we work with the third-party course providers. We have a curated marketplace of courses which are, wherein we have been able to work along with IIIT Hyderabad. We have been able to work with industry partners like Middle Earth HR, our brands of Desire, or Ali Khan Technologies, wherein we offer multiple courses, typically in the price point of 4 to 20,000, and we operate these on a rev share basis. So wherein these clients are using our learning solution to reach out to the students who are already there on the platform. And in addition to this, we also work along with companies that are looking to hire, wherein we allow them to float what we call as a digital internship program, that a typical 1 month learn and hire kind of a program that allows them to browse through pre-vetted candidates, set them certain tasks, and thereby able to identify the top performers and take them into their recruitment process. So far, we between the course offerings and the DI outcomes, we have been able to put about 2,500 plus candidates onto these additional courses and DIs. And in the process, we have been able to achieve an 8% success rate in terms of placement outcomes. So net, if I take, let us say, a typical middle of the pyramid student called Deepak, we help him first and foremost identify basis his interest, basis his aptitude, what is the kind of career aspiration or a career fit that he or she would like to get into. We provide him with the basic skill set and then recommend to him the courses from the third-party marketplace, which can help him realize his career aspiration. And we don't just stop there. We then go ahead and provide placement assistance through these companies which are looking to hire onto the platform, and thereby closing this entire feedback loop.
Last 10 seconds, Shashank.
In the process, yes, our learning management system allows us to, a patented and an artificial intelligence-led management system allows us to provide great engagement, and that's how we have been able to capture the student market and then connect them to the third parties and the companies that are looking to hire. So we are currently looking at raising 7 CR, and I would like to explore this opportunity more. Thank you all.
Thank you, Shashank. Appreciate it. Next one is we have Narayan from EF Polymer Private Limited. Narayan, you're up. Your time starts now.
Thank you.
Narayan, your time has started.
Yes, sir. Can you are able to see my presentation?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So we are as a EF Polymer Private Limited, we are working to increase the agriculture yield and quality in the low water environment. So if we see in the agriculture segment, total water available in the land, 70% used in the agriculture segment. But due to the climate change, the water scarcity problem facing by the many farmer. And this problem is not only in India, many countries like South Africa, California, and the other country who are facing the serious water problem. And another problem is bio waste. Developing and developed countries generate like millions of ton of waste, but they cannot recycle completely. They just use as a burn and they use as a landfill. So as a EF polymer, we are trying to convert this bio waste and converting into the organic water retention polymer. So we are trying to solve one problem to another problem by using this problem. So our product can absorb 100 times of water inside this, and this also contain micronutrient which can help to improve the growth of the crop. And also this is when this absorb the water, it's retained for longer time and released slowly. So this is a helpful. So now the question, how if farmer use this product in their soil, so this increase the water holding capacity of the soil as well as this retain the nutrition inside the soil. So if farmer are using this polymer, they can save their 40% of water, they can save 20% of fertilizer, and they are able to increase 50% of.
Narayan, can you
Yes,
make
sir.
it in full screen, please? If you go on the tower there, just press the button there, right down on your computer. Full screen, make it full screen. No. You need to press that hourglass there. Yeah, go on. Keep going.
Yeah. So this can help to increase the income like 10 to 30%. By using this polymer, farmer can grow their crop in the low water on drought area. And this is also 100% organic. We are not using any chemical. So this is biodegradable and organic. So this is different from the other market product which are made from the chemical product like acrylic acid and acrylamide. The another thing, in the last 6 months, we connected with more than 500 farmer, and in India, drought affected area like district Bundelkhand, Uttar Pradesh, and Rajasthan, we are working with the farmer, and we already sold like 1.5 ton of our product in India as well as in Japan, Okinawa. And we are collaborate with some leading company like Orion Beer. We can recycle their waste and convert into valuable product. We also in Indian side collaborate with the Tata Trust, Cine and Social Alpine. We are doing more than 200-acre piloting with them. And if we see our market, so globally, we are initially facing the five major states in Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, and then we have target of the India. And this target, after this complete this Indian market, we will target the global market. So if we see our business model, we collect the waste from the juice shop and the fruit producing company, and then we convert into the organic superabsorbent polymer, and then we will sell to the farmer or food organization company or distributor, and then we this product can from this product we get the generate the revenue. And this is our go to market strategy. So first we select the crop and location with the collaborate with the some FPO, and after the FPO validate our product our technology, then this FPO can and this all farmer can purchase this product, and similarly we can expand our business in different segment with different crop with different type of vegetable and fruit farmers. And at this current stage, we are looking like 300,000 seed investment to set up a production and scale up capacity and marketing and team building. And this is in our team, 5 team member. So we are working from the last 4 years in this work, and currently we have company in India and Japanese side. Both side we are working, and for this work we received like best innovation award from the President of India in Okinawa award and the Global Carbon Tech award, and we are also received the best award from the Japan. Thank you.
Thank you, Narayan. The next one is going to be Evanzo, represented by Shreya. Shreya, are you on? Take
Yes,
it away. Take it away, Shreya.
can you see my screen?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Don't waste your time.
Hi, so I'm Shreya Sondi, founder of Evanzo. The entire idea of Evanzo came up during lockdown when there were clear skies and I wanted to retain that. When I did my research, it all brought down to how exactly individual effort counts and what exactly carbon footprint, like how big carbon footprint makes an impact on individual levels. So that's where the entire idea of Evanzo came into picture. And it's a B2C platform that consumers that helps consumer track their carbon footprint on automatic basis, their daily lives, their consumption behavior, shopping behavior, food habits, commute, everything gets tracked, and we analyze it and further recommend on how to lead a sustainable lifestyle. This is all yet an ideation phase. I'm looking for a seed funding. Just a second, please. Yeah. So what we aim to bring is a sustainable ecosystem where there's consciousness, there's mindfulness in every step, every decision people make. Minimal consumerism, reduce carbon emissions, and a healthier, greener planet. What exactly is the product? We track daily life habits. We make you lead to a sustainable lifestyle. There are two modes of tracking, online and offline. In online, we basically track your online shopping consumer behavior, food habits, track commute, and in offline, we track your offline purchases. Right now, in the industry, the maximum carbon footprint is emitted by fashion industry and the airlines industry. We aim to reduce that by giving alternatives that are more eco-friendlier. There are two domains to Evanzo. One is carbon calculator and the second one is eShop. Carbon calculator is auto tracking of carbon emissions with respect to mobility choices, lifestyle choices, and shopping habits. eShop is an e-commerce marketplace of all things eco-friendly. How exactly Avanzo works? You basically come on the portal, you subscribe, you shop, we track. Now is the time to exactly invest in something that is social, that is environment friendly, is because we've all seen in the recent pandemic how exactly things were, how much better the environment was because of minimal consumerism. Increase awareness, a better lifestyle. The market potential by 2021 is aimed to be $150 billion. There are two types of people who are willing to make an impact, and they are like they don't know the right steps, and there's a second which is already making the impact but don't know how big their impact is. So we aim to accumulate these people and give them one platform to show that every individual effort counts and how exactly their small effort can make a big impact in the whole ecosystem. The way forward is we are currently in the launch stage of our marketplace. We are set to launch next week. Next step would be integration of all the calculators we are building offline, online, 100% automated calculators with AI machine learning. We further go on to widening our team, widening our product range, and then entering into B2B solutions. That's about it from my end. So you're on mute. I can't hear you.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, next is family script represented by Deepti Chaurasia. Deepti,
Yes,
your
sir.
time starts now.
Yes, sir. So good afternoon, everyone. I am Deepthi. I am currently an architecture undergraduate student, and this is my startup, Family Script. So, starting from the problem which infests our society today, thousands of people today are feeling depressed and isolated, more so with the pandemic, because we are disconnected from our families, from the people we love and care for. And eventually, what is happening is that because of this disconnectedness, we are losing track within our own families. On one hand, we are connected globally across the world, but on the other hand, we are not connected across generations within our own families. As a result, we are losing our primal source of inspiration and motivation, which is the stories of our own loved ones, the people we have grown up with, our ancestors. And eventually, this leads up to cultural loss of identity. So, all of our cities, for example, are already starting to look the same. Buildings from New York probably look similar from with buildings from Mumbai. So, what makes us unique is our cultural identity, and therefore, it is important that in this age of globalization, we hold on to what makes us unique, the family values which we have, and our legacy as a society. So, there are several problems related to this which we already see. Elderly feeling isolated, people feeling depressed because of excessive social media, people not having any idea about generations beyond their grandparents, and losing our cultural identities. So, what is the solution? How do we preserve it? The solution is family script. So, just like the name says, we script stories of families. We bring family members together on a platform where they share and collect their family stories, and we convert their intangible family values into tangible keepsakes through personalized products which they can access anywhere, anytime. So that's just instant source of inspiration from their own families. So how does it work? Family Script is a web-based app. So you log in to Family Script, invite your family members, build a family network. Everyone shares stories over there, which keep adding up to the family database. Once there's enough information that a personalized product can be made out of it, family members can choose their favorite design templates, their layouts, and that's it. You have a personalized product right with you, delivered to your doorstep with stories of your own family. So this is how the system works. Our core offering is based around the three C's, as we say: the create, cherish, celebrate. create family connection, cherish online repository of family stories, and celebrate your cultural legacy and strengthen your identity. So our current market segment starts with the NRI communities. So since these people are more driven to stay connected to their cultural roots back in India, another step of our market segment is Asia, where we have more family-oriented people, military families and refugees. And then the larger step is anyone who has a family and wants to stay connected while maintaining their family's shared stories. So how are we different from other related platforms already available? So first of all, we offer personalized products. So all our products are completely customized for all of our users to bring out their story, to bring out what makes them unique. Secondly, we have a structured data organization. So it's not just a huge chunk of data piled up somewhere, but it is organized into several uh, clusters that can be easily accessed by customers. So, for example, ancestry data, data regarding religious rituals, regarding cultural festivals, and other important functions. So currently we have four major revenue streams. One is through partnership with NRI associations, wedding planners. Another is our personalized product offering. So currently we are offering our personalized products physically, and we are planning to take this online. So for which we require funding to make it a AI-based web app. Another source of revenue is sponsored links through related services. And then we have premium features for our website features. So we have bigger cloud storage, more design templates for the personalized products. Another opportunity for scaling up which we have is going into matchmaking. So that is for later, but we have our eyes on this. So today, when we see matchmaking, it is only about two individuals, but actually it is the coming together of two families. So family script can make that process easier by understanding each other's families. And similarly, we have opportunity to go into family therapy and ethnographic real estate. So ethnographic real estate is where we understand cultural backgrounds and how it can be applied to real estate. We are also registered as an MSME, and our idea was selected by UT Austin as 60 most innovative student business ideas. So currently, we were doing all of this physically offline through our team, and we have had 7 successful family book projects across countries. So these are some visuals of the personalized products which we make. So through our family books, we actually convert family stories into visuals which you can see and cherish. We have storybooks and recipes and rituals. This is our team. I'm Deepthi, the co-founder, and the founder Kshitij Kumar Sen is actually my professor in my university. Rest of our team is also from within the university itself. Our ask is 65 lakhs, which we need to build our team, develop our design products, and to take all of this online. So currently we've been doing it offline. Now we need to take it online through a web app.
Time is up, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dipti. So we have next Golf Pro represented by Eric Epic. Do we have Eric?
Yes, hi everybody.
Hey Eric, take it away.
Thank you. Can everybody see my screen okay?
Yeah, keep going.
Great. So my name is Eric Epic and I'm the founder of Golf Pro. Golf Pro is creating a mobile application to connect golfers and instructors for unparalleled live virtual golf lessons. Golf is very difficult and oftentimes golfers can struggle to improve. Improving can be very frustrating and this often requires taking professional lessons. These lessons can be very helpful, however, they come with a host of problems, both for the students and for the instructors. For students, lessons are very expensive, they can be difficult to schedule, and there's inflexible options in terms of location and the actual instructor that you take a lesson with. For instructors, there are limited revenue streams, weather and climate roadblocks, and limited access to valuable technologies. The Golf Pro solution is to create a technologically advanced software platform where the students and instructors can connect and conduct virtual lessons. For students, this option makes lessons less expensive, allows them to choose the time and place of their lesson, as well as the instructor of their choice. For instructors, this gives them additional opportunities to make money, grow their personal brand, and access to valuable technological tools that can enhance their lesson giving capabilities. Golf Pro works by allowing students and instructors to sign up and connect within the app. Students then search for vetted instructors that fit their exact needs and can request a lesson on demand. Once accepted, the student and instructor are brought into the same live one-to-one video conference where lessons can begin and take place as they normally would. Here's a quick video where you can see a lesson taking place. The student and the instructor both see the student's screen. So as the student is teaching, as the instructor is teaching, the student can follow along exactly what he's asking him to do, both verbally and visually. The technology that we've built into the app thus far gives instructors all of the capabilities that they need to provide high quality lessons. However, the revolutionary instruction app isn't the only part of Golf Pro. The Golf Pro software will also connect with social media, collect the data, APIs, and accessories marketplaces. The golf industry in the United States alone is over $84 billion annually, and the golf instruction market segment is over $1 billion annually. There were over 21 million lessons given in 2018 in the US alone, and there are over 30,000 certified PGA golf instructors. Our path to market includes PGA instructors, the Metropolitan PGA division, the PGA Tour itself, and existing golf technology companies. PGA instructors are the ideal entryway into the market because they can begin using the app immediately with their existing students, and this will allow us to capture both the instructor and the student side of our user base immediately. From there, we'll reach a wider audience of students and instructors by expanding through the Metro PGA division and through the PGA Tour. The competitive landscape includes both traditional lessons and existing golf improvement technologies. Golf Pro is the only technology that's offering live video conferencing between students and instructors. Golf Pro is also the only existing technology that provides simultaneous benefits for both the student side and for the instructor side. Our primary revenue stream will be by taking a fixed percentage of each lesson transaction conducted through the Golf Pro app. Our secondary revenue streams will be comprised of premium subscriptions, advertisements, and in future customized user platforms. Our financial projections show that we can reach over $70 million in revenue by year 5 by capturing just 5% of the existing golf instruction market. This doesn't include the likelihood that the golf instruction market will grow in this period, or that the Golf Pro solution will expand the golf instruction market. We're seeking an investment of $500,000, which will be mainly put towards creating the version 2 of our software. Proceeds will also be put towards marketing, sales and ops, and to position the company for a future Series A round of funding. Golf Pro was incorporated in 2018, and today we are expecting to enter the market with our first MVP sometime this month. Roughly 5 years from now, we hope to have a successful exit to either a large golf technology corporation or to a private equity firm. The Golf Pro team currently consists of 4 dedicated owners with expertise in product development, finance, and a combined 30 years in software development and mobile app technologies. Golf Pro is founded by lifelong passionate golfers who are seeking solutions to the very same problems we're solving today. The Golf Pro team is dedicated and eager to changing the way that traditional and insufficient golf improvement has been done. Thank you, and I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Eric. We're not offering any Q&A at the moment, so we'll get back to you. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Do we have Pavan Elena online, please?
Yes, I'm here. Hari, hi.
Hey, Pavan. Pavan from Metamorphosis. Pavan, please take over.
Yes. Yeah, I can't share the screen. Now I can. Yes. Hi, everyone. I am Pavan from Metamorphosis. So we introduce entrepreneurship right from the school level, right from grade 6. So before starting Metamorphosis, I've successfully exited from a startup. I'm one of the youngest entrepreneurs. Started with a venture called Fleetalytics. So whatever experience that I have gained right from getting an idea till exiting, I put it as a curriculum and started delivering in the schools. So far, we have about 35,000 students onto our platform, and so far more than 1,000 plus ideas.
Pavan, you need to make it presentation mode, please.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So far we have about 35,000 students, enrolled into our courses, and it's been 3 years since we have started this. So the entire business model, we have B2B and also B2C types of programs. B2B is where the schools make it mandatory and they take entrepreneurship as a compulsory curriculum into their courses. So far, we have about 30 plus schools signed up right from, we have from different across states. And B2C, where the students can opt into our schools, which is a 2-year program. And also we have short-term programs starting from 1 week till 2-year programs is something that we offer. The entire content is been curated by the industry experts and also the entrepreneurs. The USP of our entire program is the kind of content that we curate as per the children's understanding. We have more than 50 plus companies that have been signed up, including all the stalwarts or unicorns of India. We have Paytm, we have Urban Clap, we have PepsiCo, we have a lot many other startups that have given their content. For example, if at all the students want to learn market research, we talk about how PepsiCo has actually done their market research for their own products like Doritos. So all of this entire content has been curated and we deliver. The entire content delivery is also, we have pre-recorded sessions and also the live sessions. The live sessions where, students from either MBA or where they already have prior entrepreneurial background are going to deliver. And we also have pre-recorded sessions where the founders of the company is talking about, the entire entrepreneurial journey of theirs. We are currently seeking for about $1 million for our pre-series round. We have already raised funds from Hyderabad Angels and also Markset Networks. We have raised about $500,000 so far. And, the entire funding that we are going to raise will be for our expansion into other geographies and also the global level. And competitors across the globe, we are the first ones to do this as a proper educational curriculum. And there are indirect competitors like White Hat, which is also getting into entrepreneurship curriculum. And we have certain competitors based out of US. But with the kind of existing user base, we have that first movers advantage. And we would like to continue that first movers advantage by building much more content. So this is it, Hari. So if anyone is interested, I would like to take the discussion forward later in the next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Pawan. Appreciate your time, and thanks for sticking to the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next one, we have Nordic Cruise Line, represented by Jayant Malavia. Jayant, are you on?
Yes, sir, I'm on.
Yeah, go ahead. Put your presentation in the presentation mode and go on.
Yes, thank you, sir. A very good afternoon to everyone. This is
Go ahead, Jen.
we at Nordic Cruise Line have started in September 2018 in Varanasi, and we have been recognized by the government of India and especially UP Tourism and government of Uttar Pradesh. We are a pioneer in theme-based river cruise services. Currently, we are running the Alaknanda cruise in Varanasi, and we showcase the ghats of Varanasi. There are total 84 ghats, and these are our achievements till date. We have served more than 30,000 guests from all over the world, which include the who's who of both India and the world, including dignitaries of the highest order. We have received very good ratings from our customers from both TripAdvisor as well as Google. In terms of revenue, we have raised more than 2.4 crore rupees as of 31st March 2020. Recently, we received the TripAdvisor Traveler's Choice Award 2020 from TripAdvisor. And we were also finalists in the tourism category in the recently held National Startup Awards 2020 by the Government of India. Milestones include, we have the rare distinction as an Indian startup of hosting the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, not once but twice. The second time being recently just 10 days ago. And our venture was inaugurated by Honorable CM Shri Yogi Adityanath ji in 2018. We have also hosted His Holiness Shri Sadhguru in 2018, just after we started. I'm a co-founder and I look after marketing especially and business development. And this is our team. We were completely new to the domain of tourism, especially river cruising. But we took a bold step with a firm resolve and it eventually paid off. And the opportunity which we are trying to get into is and take advantage of is to present a package of spiritual adventure. As you can see, the religious tourism or spiritual tourism is the biggest contributor in domestic tourism in India. About 60% of the market share is held by. And so we wish to create and offer a unique service to the people of India, especially in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, where such services do not exist. And in terms of the whole country also, we can see that they are not very common. And Alaknanda was conceived out of as an answer to the problem of the lack of safety and security in the traditional boats. And our basic product and concept is based upon state-of-the-art world-class facilities on board river cruising services. And in Varanasi, we run on the theme of, we showcase the world-famous ghats of Varanasi. Each ghat has its own story and historical background. Our next venture is going to be in Ayodhya, and we'll be theming our tour based on the theme of Ramayana, and we'll be showing a specially made film based on Ramayana, the story of Lord Ram. And this is the market opportunity of Ayodhya. We have narrowed it down to, according to our capacity, we'll be running on basis of 2 tours per day. We'll be targeting 50,000 customers per year. That is a very conservative estimate, as we are expecting to hold at least 3 to 4 tours per day, and the figure will multiply. And this is the competitive landscape, as I mentioned earlier, the traditional boats. It has a very strong social economic impact also on the society, as we employ a large number of our employees are from the socio-economically backward boatman community of Nishats. This is our business model. Currently, our ticket price for Alaknanda is 900 rupees per person. The booking is completely online, and we also offer offline ticket counters. The proposed ticket price of the Ramayana cruise tour in Ayodhya is rupees 750 per person. These are our projected revenues for Alaknanda and Varanasi for 3 years, and projected figures for Ramayana cruise tour, which we are going to begin soon in Ayodhya. Our funding ask is rupees 6.5 crores, roughly $880,000 US, in which the majority of the portion, 5 crores, will be covered by the cost of the vessel, and the rest of it will be covered in marketing, site development, infrastructure, and hiring of a new team. And that's all from my side. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Jayant. Thank you, Jayant. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
So thanks for your time. And next one, we have anyone from PetPal Technologies, Mahendra? Do we have Mahendra online from PetPal Technologies? Okay, we'll move on. Next one is Public Vibe, Narasimha Veeram Reddy.
Yes.
All right, Narasimha, take away.
Sure. All right, so can you see my screen?
Yeah, keep going.
All right, so myself is Narasimha. I'm the founder and CEO here at Public Vibe. We started the startup in 2016. Public Vibe is a hyperlocal community news platform with local news, jobs, events, and classifieds from people around you. And we are trying to serve instant, personalized, and verified hyperlocal news to international news in one single platform, that too in 9 different vernacular languages. So if you look at it, this is the 10,000 foot view of any vernacular content platform. So let's say, for example, there are players like Daily Hunt, Newspoint, InShots, and etc. Like for everybody, like UGC and PGC and the publishers are the content sources, and for most of these guys, they make money out of the ad revenue. But how Public Web is different here? So Public Web is different in terms of product, technology, content, and the way that we monetize. So first, coming to the product, so Public Web is a platform where you can get hyperlocal news to international news in one single platform. So if you open Public Web, you will find news starting from your village level actually. And at the same time, like national and international news, and also like video news and videos in a short format. And the technology, so we build a solid personalization engine that can personalize your feed based on like 16,000 plus interests, and then we build a solid hyperlocal vernacular content classification engine with the best machine learning model and AI. So, and also like we build a vernacular NLP to serve the vernacular content better, and also we came up with our own in-house fact checkers to fight with fake news. And in terms of content, so if you look at any other vernacular content platform, they pay per each and every news that they are getting from reporters and stringers. Like usually they pay like a 50 or 200 rupees per video. But at the end of the day, if I have to serve like a 10 videos per day across like a 700 districts throughout like pan India, it is way costly. And at the same time, as it is like a paper video, like we are not getting that quality content also. So whereas if you take Public Web as a platform, so this is where we came up with a beautiful technology called Mobile News Studio to create all this video content at no cost. At the end of the day, we are creating some beautiful content at scale. So now content creators can create their videos exactly like news channels, that too just within 5 minutes without the help of designers and editors. So at the end of the day, how is it different means? So while all our competitors are actually paying for reporters and publishers to get the content, whereas in case of us, reporters and our publishers are actually paying to Public Web to generate content on Public Web platform. So if you want to create while all other players, if they want to publish a video, there it is going through like a huge number of steps, like they need like a lot of editors, designers, and etc. Whereas in case of Public Web, we came up with the local reporter app, which is like a mobile news studio where like anybody can create videos within just 5 minutes that looks exactly like news channels. And just like 3 steps, like 1, 2, 3, like you can create like beautiful videos, just like what we are actually seeing in TV. And coming to the monetization, so most of our competitors, they primarily monetize through advertisements. That is also direct demand and backfill ads from Google and Facebook. Even for Public Web also, advertisement is the primary revenue channel. But in addition to that, so we make revenue out of the content creators. So content creators are actually paying us to write content or to make videos on Public Web platform. And at the same time, as Public Web is a hyperlocal community news platform where we are actually serving news starting from the village level. So this is where we came up with hyperlocal ad network to serve hyperlocal ads, services, and surveys. And then we came up with the Market Vibe, which is a market intelligence platform for brands. This is where we are trying to serve like a vernacular, hyperlocal to international insights to the brands. And coming to the metrics, we have like a 5 million app downloads across Public Web and Local Star and Local Reporter. And we have like a 1,500 paying customers on Local Star app to create content. And we have 8,000 reporters just from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, where we are serving instant hyperlocal news starting from village level in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. And we have like a 70,000 plus content creators across India. And daily we are producing like 85,000 news items right from hyperlocal news to international news. And daily we are producing like a 13,000 instant videos daily, and that too at no cost. And myself, I'm the founder and the CEO. Bhaskar is the co-founder, and Sridhar is another co-founder. Currently, we are like 60-member team based out of Hyderabad. Thank you.
Thank you, Narasimha. Appreciate it. Do we have someone from Sears? Zara Shah? Zara, are you on? Okay, let's move on. Someone from Simples Group, Andrew Ramaraju, Sam Raja. Do we have anyone from Simples?
Yeah, I'm here.
Andrew.
Yeah, I'm here.
Andrew, please take it away, please. You need to put your presentation in the presentation mode and start.
Right, just give me a second. Yeah, able to see my presentation?
Yeah, go on.
Right. So my name is Andrew Sam. I'm the founder and CEO of Simplicity. We are a hyperlocal news platform, and this is my presentation for TGS. So our news platform was built on the basic premise: what impacts your daily life? Is it water in Mars or water to your home? So this was primarily conceived when the state of information was extremely skewed. We had everything from news, events, talent, stories, and petitions, which were centrally proliferated and delivered through newspapers, television, internet portals, digital news networks, and social networks. So this kind of, there was a different kind of priority in news and information. The news information priority kind of looked like this funnel. It was like international, metropolitan, regional, and the last priority was the city. So the impact of this was where people were globally connected but locally disconnected. So what does locally disconnected mean? What we know about water in Mars, but we do not know the status of water in our city or the next power cut or where the roads are bad or the traffic is poor. So the city news was never covered in depth or in detail. 90% of the news gets missed. We never know about the next power cut in our city. Listing and coverage of events is never in detail or in a single platform. We never know about the exciting talents that prop up in our city. We don't know about the job opportunities that can prop up if we can have a unified platform. So also the different petitions and grievances that people support and report are not available on a city level basis. So disparate content for vernacular and English. If you look at any newspaper which has got vernacular and English at the same time, if you look at the coverages, it will be different for vernacular and it will be different for English. So they kind of decide the intelligence of the user based on the language. So there's no single medium to connect, inform, and engage the city, and that's what we do. So the vision for simplicity was taken from, it is a 2000-year-old vision, which was like, in Tamil, we used to say, Yadamure Yavarum Keli. Our famous president, Mr. Abdul Kalam, spoke about this in the European Union when he said, every city is our own and all citizens are our kin and kith. So to make this grand democratic vision a possibility, we need to have a real-time, hyper-local news platform that can connect and inform people in real time. So how do we do it? We need to think global but act local. We need to put the largest news team for a single city on the ground to ensure that you take the best coverage, the most deepest coverage, and put it on for people to be accessed real time. So this is what it is. Simplicity is the largest hyperlocal news platform and digital advertisement platform in Coimbatore. We are right now launched in Coimbatore. We launched it in 2016. It is available in English and Tamil, and it's on iOS, Android, and Windows, and all the social media platforms. And we are available on simplicity.in. Simplicity aims to be the largest hyperlocal news and information services platform, owning more than 50% of the operatable market. It's a very unique, futuristic, and nimble product where we have extremely good real-time hyperlocal information verified by reporters on the ground and delivered very quickly through a very strong content team. And we have all the news is available in vernacular and in English at the same time. So this is what is the exclusivity of Simplicity is 90% of the news that is covered in Simplicity is unique for the first 24 hours or 48 hours, and most of the time, most of the news that we cover doesn't get reported in any of the other news platforms. Crowdsourcing of hyperlocal news and events is big time because we have an extremely robust collection mechanism in our app and on our WhatsApp channel, where we collect over 60 people report from various parts of the city who are identified as press contributors and provide detailed news and information about events to the city. The priority of information on Simplicity is as it goes. City is the first major focus, regional is next, metropolitan, national, and international. Because of this priority, the city is at your fingertips, instant, absolute, and authentic information. Because most of the time, what happens with crowdsourced information is it's not authentic and it has to be always verified by people on the ground. And it is not to be done with freelancers or singers because we need to have control over the exact information and how it is being reported. Simplicity is extremely hyperlocal. We go area by area. So these are the different features in our app. This is our news section, which is like it's a new age digital platform. As we said, it delivers a wide variety of rich, reliable, and real-time content with video and photo stories. And all content is.
And your time is up, please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone from TEDB International? Inzamamul Ahmad?
Yes, sir.
All right. Inzamamul, please take it away. You need to put your presentation in the presentation mode. Switch on your video and start.
Yes, sir. So can you hear your screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Inzamamul Ahmed and I am the founder and CEO of TDB International Private Limited.
Please, presentation mode.
Yes, sir.
No, click the last one here underneath. Next to comments, go to the last one. the wine glass, you see, right down. No, no, down. Yeah.
Yeah. So I am the founder and CEO of the TDB International Private Limited, and this is our DZ Bharat. It is a trademark under TDB International Private Limited, and DZ Bharat. And we started the DZ Bharat with our college colleague. So DZ Bharat has started with the motive to develop Indian education system with advanced technology. We already built an app as well as some special services which can transform Indian education system, and already we are functioning in 17 schools. So let me explain our packages. Yeah. First, here's come our online school management. We have an application. That is called by the name the Digi Bharat. So our application provide like you can get announcement, teachers updates, notes, summary, everything will be uploaded to the applications, and you can and the teachers can take the attendance from the applications as well. Then these are smart classrooms. Like we have packages, different packages like smart classroom, smart library. Then we also provide like smart computer labs. So we have also package smart computer labs. So we have here we provide all the updated computers like updated softwares. Everything is up to date here. And we also have smart libraries. Like student can borrow books from here. Student can gift their books to here. And we will develop this smart library in a school as well. And you can find ebook as well from this smart library. Then you will get full internet campus like you can internet will provide with the full internet campus and also like entertainment programs. So here is our second package, that is Digi Studio. As we all know that in India every annual in schools, especially in schools, every annual phase, the students are asked to perform in the stage like in school annual functions. So here what we will do, we will bring all the talents like if anyone has a good singer, anyone has a good dancing skill, so they can come to our studio and they can perform. So if our judges will like their dances or singing, then they will be connected to some another producers or directors. Then we also have this DZ magazine. Here we release a annual magazines every year. Here come photos like student drawings, students whatever they will do in their schools. And we also have this DG Innovation Studio. Here every students, like if some student is good at innovation, some is innovated something. So what earlier it was like they can't provide to the world. So now what we will do, we will bring their ideas to the new generation worlds. Also with this DZ cafe system in schools, like we will build some cafes that will be hygienic and will put on healthy foods. Then there is a mood tracking system. This system will keep tracking the moods to the moods of the students, as they were sad, they're happy or something. Then we also provide like an entrepreneurship project in our application that student can get access to the entrepreneurship project from our application directly. Then we also have this gift a smile movement, like if some in private schools, all schools are maintaining good notes, and we'll collect that notes from the students and we'll distribute among the poor students like in rural area. Then also we have this play school project, like yes like we will provide some like toys that from that they can learn it easily. Then we also have live bus tracking system in our applications, like the parents can track the location of their bus directly from our application. Then we also provide a career consultancy, like we'll have a mentor in every school that they will provide that knowledge that what careers are, how many careers options are available. This is the basic income for the DZ Bharat. We collect 999 per student at the time of registration for applications, and then we collect 99 per month from every student. Then we take this is our like average income from our DZ Bharat. And we are already functioning in 17 schools, and last month we have collected revenue of more than 17 lakhs. So thank you.
Thank you, Inzamamul.
Thank you.
Raghav
This is the first time, so I apologize if I made any mistake.
No, no worries. Thank you. Do we have Raghav Sood online, please?
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah, Raghav. Raghav is from TSC Global. Please take it away, please.
I'll be doing the needful, guys. My name is Varun. I'm the co-founder along with Raghav. Just give me a second, please. And there we go, as Sir says. So since our inception in 2014, we have collaborated with brands like Manchester United, Manchester City, along with being spread equity partners for the I-League champions Minerva Punjab in 2017. Our seed funding came in 2017 itself from Acquisitive Consulting. And then over the years, we've got partners like Cardiff Metropolitan, Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, and many others.
So these are the numbers of our various divisions that we have had since our inception. And what differs us from the other companies is our ecosystem that will become a habitat in the future. So that's there for you to see.
This is what we are aiming at in the times to come. We are looking at a dream project, a facility which has all. We're looking at 4 regions for our athlete management service to scale up, and the tech part of the company now.
So we are looking to raise 1.5 million US dollars with the expected revenue of $6 million US dollars in 3 years at the rate of 4x.
Thank you, guys. This is what we are.
Thank you, Raghav. Thank you, Pawan.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Do we have Niharika, please, from Zelter?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
All right. Niharika, are you ready?
Yeah, almost there.
Go ahead, please.
Just 1 second.
Your clock is ticking, Niharika.
I know actually there's some issue. I'm not able to share my screen for some reason. Can the next person go first? I'm just figuring this out.
Okay. Do we have Abhi Patel?
Yes, sir. So I'm going to present for RoboFun Lab. Ashwin here. Abhi is also there on the call.
All right. Go ahead. Take it away, Abhi.
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. And good afternoon, Hari sir. So I'm Ashwin Shah, one of the co-founders for RoboFun Lab. And we are here to solve a pretty simple problem. And the problem is absence of why, how, reasoning, application, and innovation from the current K-12 education system. And we are proud to present our innovation for this entire problem statement is, the first is we have developed a systematic curriculum for K-12 students to integrate fun-based, hands-on practical education for STEM concepts using robotics as a platform. These courses are built keeping the learning outcomes at core. Subtle use of advanced technologies like robotics, 3D printing, AI, IoT, and drones is being done to make these courses utmost effective, implementable, enjoyable, and up to the mark as per the current trend. As a shocking fact, sir, 80% of the freshly graduated engineers in India are directly unemployable. Why? Because they lack the practical applications of all the theories that they are learning. But if we try to instill this practical application-based knowledge from the students right from their school age, it will create a huge impact. Have we ever seen some young innovators coming out of India? No. But we do see certain examples coming in from the foreign countries. Why? A sheer change in the education system. We have built a system to produce STEM and robotics educators across India. We have built a system to rigorously train students for various national and international coding and robotics competitions and give them the exposure plus a boost to their self-confidence at a young age. And at last, we have built a wonderful and a unique evaluation system for the students to keep a track of their progress in these courses. Our achievements thus far, we have been awarded as the best STEM-based robotics education startup of India by ICRA, top 10 most promising STEM-based robotics education startup brand by Higher Education Review. The curriculum that we have built is encouraged and appreciated by internationally acclaimed educators at Tufts University and NYU. 12 of our course books have already received registration and copyright certificate from Government of India, and the number is just growing. That says that we are building a robust curriculum to execute hands-on practical education and try to bring in innovations. And we have represented India for 20 plus times across the globe in few of the most prestigious robotics competitions for the kids. Target market that we are looking at is all the students of age 6 to 18 years, schools, colleges, corporates, CSR activities, STEM and robotic kit sales, and government. Atal Innovation Mission is huge. And the content and curriculum that we have fits to the point in the entire Atal Innovation Mission scheme. CSR activities, now most of the CSRs are shifting their focus from teaching English to teaching coding and robotics to the students that they cater to. So all these are our target markets. Revenue model, we have 5 different revenue models, offline long-term courses at RoboFun Lab centers. We have privately established our 7 centers across 6 cities of India, like Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Surat, Rajkot, Porbandar and Jamnagar, and we are just growing from here. Short-term courses like summer camps, winter camps, Diwali camps at schools and our centers. Service as a solution and school-owned lab models for schools. We are currently working with 40 schools in India and the number is growing. International robotics competition coaching for our students as well as for our client schools. And online coding and skill development courses. In just 15 days of time in the month of April this year, we were quickly able to shift our gears from offline education to a complete online education. We are into the market from last 5 years and we have just grown in the numbers. Till 2020, we were infrastructure heavy and offline only model. But from 2020, we also have an equivalently capable online model which can be scalable. So this is our revenues thus far, and we have been doing really well. Our 5 CR, and we wish to spend 10% in content and curriculum development, 30% in center development and expansions, 10% in platform development, 25% in marketing and new customer acquisition, and 25% in operation and expansion of manpower. This is what our future roadmap looks like, and we intend to churn over like around 55 CR of revenue from today until 2026. So this is how we wish to grow this as. Today, our online business till date is 1 CR, and we wish to increase it at least 7-fold by 2025-2026. And we wish to increase our school business from 50 lakhs to 3 crore. Sure, sir.
Thank you.
This is all I have to say. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Okay, Niharika, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, hi guys, I'm Niharika. I'm the founder of Zelter. It's basically shelter for Generation Z. We provide accommodation to students and young adults. So we have offerings for students that is a very comfortable and convenient option for accommodation. We have an offering for landlords and developers. We become a service provider for them. And we also do end-to-end servicing for campuses. So we become their accommodation partner. So these are our monetization models as well. This is what we offer. It's a gambit of services. It's everything that a student or a young adult needs to be comfortable in a accommodation. And while we talk of a comfortable accommodation, food, Wi-Fi, all your necessities, we also talk of a sense of belonging, a sense of community, which becomes a very important aspect when you're looking for your second home. To top it all up, we are app enabled. We provide all of our services are enabled by this app, so you can raise customer complaints. Complaints can be raised through this platform. We put up a food menu on daily basis to take feedback. Payments can be made online. So we've just basically tried to ramp up the existing model of living in hostels and PGs. When we talk of gap in the market, every year close to 50 lakh students come to campus. Just talking of students right now, of which 50%, 54% students are out of station students, and only 8.5% students get accommodation in campus. So that means there is a huge chunk of 91% students who seek out of campus accommodation. And this is the accommodation that they get. Like when you go to the market and you actually see the kind of PGs and hostels people have been living in, it's unhygienic, it's cluttered, it's absolutely unmanaged. So this is the gap in the market. Like this picture says it all in my view. And trust me, it's not exaggerated. Like I've visited campus campus accommodation personally, and this is what we are, we have to match. We have to fight against. This is the team right now. I am Niharika. I'm one of the co-founders, and Ujjwal is my co-founder. I have done my MBA from ISB, and before taking the plunge into this business, I was working with companies like Flipkart and Housing.com, and I have been working in the field of real estate for a very long time. Our business model is fairly simple. We basically identify buildings where we see these are large buildings which have a very good scope to kind of accommodate a large number of students. We take them on long-term basis. We upgrade the property, make it more suitable for students and young adults, add in the services, and then rent it out to students on a kind of a per bed basis with all services included. We've already had a very successful first year. We started with one building with 100 with 80 beds, and we achieved 100% occupancy, and we actually had 1.2 CR revenue in our first year, and with the 20% margins. And all this is in the first year when we did not have any efficiency. So our MVP was a very, very good proof of concept for us as a team as well. So now we are kind of working on our efficiencies to bring up our top line, bring up our margins, bring up our ROIs. Just some couple of feedback that we got from our students and their other stakeholders. So just, if I'll just stop here for a minute for you guys to read it up. When we talk of competitive advantage, of course, one of the things is that we are very experiential. We are not giving a product. Community living is a very, very big offering that we give. As I mentioned, I come from a real estate background, so we are able to bring in a lot of strong civil background with us, which is required for these buildings to revamp the buildings, and we're able to do it at a lower cost than our competitors. So these two factors really give us a advantage over others to provide the same product at a lower cost to our customers. Current commercials are these, as I mentioned, margin is 20%, ROI is 115%, and revenue is 1.2 CR. This is what our future is, this is what our plan is, and this is the reason why we're looking to raise funds. We are first looking to we are looking to kind of scale up in Delhi NCR itself to 500 beds. Then we are looking to enter the peripheries of Delhi, that is Jaipur, Chandigarh, Dehradun. These are highly student populated areas, and also we want to develop our in-house technology platform, and then go on to a pan-India expansion, develop our in-house catering, laundry, all of those ancillary services, and eventually we do aim to kind of develop our own state-of-the-art campus. So the stakes that the funds that we're looking at is around 2 CR, which would be required to, of course, scale up our business, which would be to acquire more beds, to increase our in-house technology platform, because I feel that would be a big value add as a company. And we're also exploring alternate monetization opportunities, wherein we could probably lease out our technology, we could give out our laundry to other companies. So we're trying to develop alternate models in which we could monetize this business. So that's all from my side. And any questions, anything that I can take care of. And otherwise, please do reach out to me. These are my coordinates.
Thank you, Niharika. I think your time is up, and we are not taking Q&As right now, so people will reach out to you separately. Thank you. Thank you for your time. And I understand we have Kalaivani back. Do we have Kalaivani online? Kalaivani, are you on from Knomics? Okay, no sign of Kalaivani. All right, anyone else online who's not presented? Any startup, any founder who's not presented, who's not got an opportunity to present? Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I think it's been great for you guys to participate in this. Hope everything goes well for you guys.